Всем привет! Вы на канале Котиков, и мы продолжаем проходить Final Fantasy XVI. Всем приятного просмотра и спасибо за ваши лайки. Поговорите с утра.
See the pair that got hauled into tires?
Aye. Still alive, are you? Go on, then. You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
What do you make of them skies, then?
Your omen is what? Clive! Here you go. Always something in there.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Is everything we've received and everything promised? Best of luck out there, Sid.
Otto,
Вот
how
так.
fares the realm?
Как дела в мире? В мире просто
Oh, she's just
прекрасно.
fine. As long as you look past the fact storms out mother crystals and her skies are a roiling cesspit. And Gav,
Дел.
he's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent her
Ну,
out their way
дядя,
the moment the winds
очень.
turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though. Do you have any good news? Well, that depends on your definition of good. All right, fine.
Ладно, ладно.
What do you suggest we do?
Что
Oh,
предлагаю
no,
сделать?
I'm just a messenger. I leave the scheme into those more
Ну
suited
уж я
to the
просто
task.
гонял.
Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their
Может,
own
у
thoughts
Леди
on the
Вивиан и
current state of
Фолента
things.
есть
Could be
мысли.
that they don't. It certainly
Может,
can't
у
hurt
нас
to
просто
ask.
есть лишними.
I suppose not.
Это правда.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable
почему?
catastrophe?
Надо
Not that you are to
как-то-
blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
Быстро придут в себя, надеюсь.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know.
Мгм.
But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts.
Последнее.
Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen mother crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces, now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off Storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Waloed deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
None but us.
Criminal. Теперь цель у нас. Вот будет.
Seems the hideaway has lost its appetite.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Let me guess. You're here about the
В
skies.
прошлом...
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day, did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. And we will always be grateful for it. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others have to say.
И опять как-то бежать до старого мира. Короче, боги в этом виноваты.
What do you want? No scratches, all right? And how am I meant to do that then? Bring me the materials, and I'll think about it. my best work, but it'll do. Anything else?
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tires?
Clive, we have a problem.
Лайф видел
Only one. That'll be a
Верно.
first.
Видел жену. Не совсем. Вообще-то делал 3.
We had as many owls arrive when we were
Ровно
at the shelves.
только там
Martha's got a cache
прилетело.
at her gates, and
Привал
talk of
Монгол.
monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it
Что делать?
rains.
Пришла
Big
беда.
fucking pause.
То
The
времена
curse
так.
breakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means there's only 2
Выходит,
people who
могу
can.
помочь только
Jill and
2.
I.
Мы
Let them know we're on our way.
То есть... Ну все, сейчас будем решать проблему. Так, ну и сделаем. Первая, вторая и третья проблема. Давай сюда, Марк. По очереди.
This man's gonna die if we don't get him to a healer.
But all our beds are taken.
Martha,
Марта,
it's good to see you.
рад тебя видеть.
And you, Clive.
И я
Jill?
вас, друзья.
Otto said you'd been attacked by a Akashic.
Отто сказал, что новость на
What
поле.
exactly happened here?
Those skies are what
Не
happened.
писал, но
Not long after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here, but that was more than enough. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered. What do you think, Clive?
Что думаешь, что
That we join the fight?
нужно идти?
I thought you'd never offer. Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where the fighting is fiercest. Let the men know you've come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
Поспешим.
Do you think there were as many as Martha says?
Думаешь, их правда много?
More.
Лидерши больше.
You don't think they've abandoned us, do you?
Them not. Not a chance.
Опа.
Clive, wounded.
Клайв, раненые.
We deal with the Akashic first.
Сперва делаем вся такая. Ну, пацаны, ну зачем она вам, да? Ну, враги убить.
These men don't have the look of hired swords.
Не похожи на наемников.
If you've come to rob this place,
Если вы пришли сюда грабить,
You are mistaken, my Lord
вам
Rosfield.
показались.
We're here by
Наоборот.
Madame Martha's leave.
how do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions.
Стражи.
We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
А, нет.
Wade's men. But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
Sir Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out where the Akashic were coming from.
Did he?
Надо же.
Take your wounded back to the inn.
Ответ против.
Martha will
раненых.
see you're looked
Совет.
after. We'll join you anon.
Мы скоро вернемся.
And to think you took them for
Надо ж
thieves. A
принять
fine reward for holding off the horde,
Какой
that
надо
is.
летал
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell, the Guardians asked me to shelter some of them that had lost their homes. They were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we stuck together.
Martha! Trouble!
Март.
The scouting
Беда.
party's almost at the lift, but they got a pack of Akashic snapping at their heels! And they got wounded with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all.
Проклятье.
We'll worry about them, Martha.
Марта,
You look
мы
after everyone
пойдем
here. If any can still fight, send them to the lift.
I will. You two be safe now.
Ладно, берегите себя.
Мой.
Mad
Братья, они-
dogs. The lot of 'em.
Так что...
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about...
Ну как
I
же,
didn't ask,
отправляй
Oscar.
Макар.
Sir,
Есть.
So Wade,
Старого Уэйт.
Lord Rossfield.
Лорд
If you aren't a sight for
Росматер.
sore eyes.
Радостно
Martha seemed to think you might need some help. And by the looks of it,
И, судя по
We
всему,
thought we could sneak
мы
by them,
думали обойти.
but we didn't know there would be so many. How could we have?
Behind you!
Позади. Реал.
Damn it. We need to get the injured to safety.
Do you think we can hold them off?
we can certainly try. Are you with us, Sir Wade?
Вы с нами сожгли.
Always.
Конечно.
Then let's do our duty.
Возьмем, сойдем и шепотом. Ну вы зря сюда пришли. Тихо, я касту пока. Блин, два. Минус.
Is anyone hurt?
Кто-нибудь ранен?
I don't think so.
Кажется, нет.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just a pity I keep walking into them.
You've never been one to shy away from danger, Sir Wade. Like any shield worthy of the name.
Как и подобает.
I see you're all in one
Ну даже
piece.
еще живая. Марта?
Is something wrong?
Что-то не так.
The lookout saw smoke coming from down Eastpool way. Too thick to be a hearth.
A second horde.
Ну а что?
Feel like finishing the job.
Завершено?
Always.
Конечно.
Jill and I will make for Eastpool. You'll need to move the injured without
Ничего.
us.
Пойдем туда,
Don't you worry
вы.
about them.
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow. Good luck.
Удачи.
Mad dogs, the lot of them.
Just patch me up as quick as you can and get me back out there.
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Martha and the others won't be ready.
Over here!
Не ходим.
Something's coming.
Кто-то идет сюда. Бац.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
Only the first round, Sir Wade.
Только первая. Приступну.
Over here! Torgal, kill! Get him! This one! Over here!
Идет сюда. Враги убиты.
Do you see any more?
Видишь?
No.
Кого-то еще нет.
I think that was the last
Кажется,
of them.
все. Убит.
But it won't be long before the next lot
Но
arrive.
скоро...
Then we make for Martha's while we can.
What did you find out there?
The same as Sir Wade. Scores of Akashic.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Our lookouts say the lowlands are clear. Hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our wounds.
How many of your men were injured?
A damn sight less than if you hadn't turned up. Thank you.
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashic's numbers are only going to rise. It's not a matter of if the Horde will be back, but when. And whether that's sooner or later, we'll need to be ready. The inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable. I'd like to make this one of our outposts.
What do you say, Martha?
Just because
You'd have more men to guard the rest.
Well, when you put it like that, of course they can stay.
Задание выполнено.
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to meet.
Я хочу вам представить кое-кого.
Over here.
Да.
It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rosfield. I am Oscar. Oscar of House Murdoch.
Murdoch?
Murdoch,
I wasn't aware the Lord Commander had children.
Oh, he didn't. But his brother,
my
father, did. I am Sir Rodney's nephew.
Well, go on then. It's not for me to ask him.
Yes, so wait. If it please you, my Lord Marquis, might you take me as your squire? I would learn the duties of a shield from the finest.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Oscar, but I'm a shield no longer. Nor was I ever the finest. And spending time in the company of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education for one aspiring to take his oaths.
My Aunt Hannah once told me that a man is not defined by his title, but what he does in its name. You have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little honor in so doing. And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than an unworthy shield. Not that Sir Wade and the other guardians are... I mean to say that...
It's all right. We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my lord.
But a squire?
No,
Would that really be so bad?
А что в этом
You were a squire
плохого?
once,
Ты им тоже бил?
and I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
Know that I'll show you as much leniency as your uncle showed me.
I would not have it any other way.
Так, одна проблема есть уже. Сделано. Ну что, мы продолжаем. Так, теперь. Открыть карту мира. Ну, сюда пошли. Потом туда. Ну.
Cid.
И твоя
Your new
воля.
companion appears much more formidable than your uncle.
Чем дядь?
Should I be worried?
Я провинился?
You haven't been
Да, вы
introduced.
такие не знакомы.
Jill,
Я
Clive
Джилл.
has told me
Я
much
его
about you.
рассказал.
All lies, I'm sure.
Надеюсь,
Your Stolas
не
said that
сказано.
Dalimil has a bandit problem.
Indeed. Although you're a little late. They left with our food and guild days ago. Any idea where they
И
went?
куда они
The
направились?
desert's a big place. Your guess is as good as mine. But the fact is, I have more immediate concerns.
What did you say to me? What did you say?
Что ты сказал?
Ah, as if by magic.
Ну, как
Let's
раз
just say we've yet to reach a consensus about how to solve Dalimil's little problem. And at this rate, it won't be the actions of the bandits which prove to be our undoing. It will be our own. Now, I've tried reasoning with the dissenting parties, but even the Desert Hare has limits.
Perhaps we could talk to them.
может
What
нам
makes you think they'll
попробовать.
listen to us?
Думаешь, нас
What makes you think
послушают?
they won't?
She makes a fair point, Sid. And you won't have wasted much of your precious time if you fail. They're just across the courtyard. Suppose we just follow the shouting.
Посетите последнюю картину.
You wouldn't talk like that if it had been your
Кровь
throats
за
were
кровь.
slit. Blood for blood. It's the only way. We hire mercenaries and have them mount the bandits' heads on our walls as a lesson to the rest.
And what happens when those mercenaries are slaughtered like your men? Are you going to hire more?
Искать
We're
новых?
better off using that coin to buy food and supplies. If we hire mercenaries, the only thing we're buying is the bandits' ire. And you cannot fill empty bellies with that. Do you hear me?
But what happens when they come back? Maybe it'll be your throat that's slit.
That's enough.
Хватит
Both of you.
замолкнуть.
Any more of this and I'll
Иначе
throw you out myself.
обоих
Come back when you're ready to
вышвырну.
talk like adults.
Victor,
Виктор,
what's he doing here?
он же делает.
Sid. And Lady Jill. What brings you here?
I was about to ask you
Какими
the same
судьбами?
thing.
Costness is in chaos, and the markets have all but ceased to operate. The Briar's Kiss here in Dalimil is the only place I can reliably obtain supplies. I was here to do just that when Master Lubor told me of his troubles. He thought I might be able to talk some sense into these fools. But if you're here, I suppose his patience must be waning.
Who are those people?
Кто эти
Those
люди?
were the thorns in Lubor's side. And the reason this place might be headed the same way as Costness. It's these accursed skies. The darkness is enough to drive a man to madness. Or an entire city, for that matter.
We're still working on the skies. But in the meantime, perhaps we can find a solution to Dalimil's problems.
I hope so. For all our sakes.
Ради общего блага. Опять немного.
So, you see my predicament?
Ты видишь меня
What I saw was a room full of people who were angry and afraid. And with good reason by the sound of it. But if left to smolder, that anger and fear could set the entire town alight. My thoughts exactly. What to do?
Как же быть?
Both sides wish to protect their homes and livelihoods, if only they could agree on how. But as long as they are divided, we are vulnerable.
And if there's one thing bandits like, it's an easy target.
What would Sid the Outlaw suggest?
Well, if it were my namesake, He'd let them choose for themselves, and be on hand to pick up the pieces when it all went wrong.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
A recipe for disaster is precisely what it is. But perhaps that realization would be enough to make them question the ingredients. While it's plain neither Conrad nor Natalie will countenance the other's
И видно,
proposal,
что Конрад
it
сильно
may still be
подвыкнул
possible to
уступки,
make them
ага.
doubt their own. Before presenting them with a third option.
And that would be?
To
И
pool
какой
our
же?
resources and save the city ourselves. Why fight each other?
Ну
When
да,
all that
зачем
fear and
ссориться?
anger can be directed at the bandits.
It appears we have a plan of action. Victor, pay Conrad a visit. See if you can't convince him of his folly. I'll speak with Natalie.
As you wish.
Your faces are not well known in this town. That may prove useful.
Неплохой.
Don't worry, Victor and I will do most of the talking. You need only play along.
Play along.
What he means
Подыграть?
to say is yes.
Picture it, Conrad. Ah, here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
Я тоже рад.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canberra to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalimil's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you call the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
Then let us band together and show these brutes that Dalimil is not to be trifled with.
My shock.
If I had my pickaxe, I would...
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something. Ah, here he is
Ну,
now.
чего?
Natalie, allow me to introduce
Можно.
Lord Underhill of
Извини.
Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill.
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the Blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure
еда,
what
трава и
we
тому
still
прочее.
have.
Понятно?
Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
I didn't say it was good, merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Ну да, тут рассказывали про то, что он с Гильин.
Mummy, I'm scared.
Oh, I'm ruined.
Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles. With time, they may even learn to.
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for Dalimil as we speak. All of them.
You're not
Ты его
serious.
верно хочешь?
They don't just want food, they want the whole damn town.
Не еда, целый город.
I have a favor to ask.
Есть еще одна
I'm told
фраза.
the bandits march in two groups, one from the south and one from the desert, in a move doubtless intended to stretch our already gossamer-thin defenses.
Very well. Jill and I will meet those from the desert. But what of the rest?
The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. Together. The stakes, I concede, are high. But if this does not unite Dalimil, nothing will.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's throats but a moment ago.
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept occupied. And I do mean us.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do the same.
И мы постараемся.
No willing folk have come to welcome us.
I'll take that one.
It's all yours.
They mean to overwhelm us. Get him!
До свидания. Минус.
The townspeople.
Как там?
Could they have held
Жители?
out?
Выдержи, надо.
I don't hear any fighting.
Звуки бойни слышны. Что думаешь?
That we should hurry.
Ну, надо спешить.
Natalie,
Наталья,
I owe you
мне
an apology.
следует
You did well out
извиниться.
there.
Ты славно
Ian would have been
сражалась.
lost had you not held the line.
Без тебя было бы
Without you, there
сложно
would have been no line
держать
to hold.
оборону.
You saved us, Conrad. You
Ты
saved
спас
Dalimil.
нас, Конрад, ты
We
спас.
all saved Dalimil.
Мы все спасли. Вот.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
Конрад явно сменил
I'd say
его.
they both have.
I
Oh,
take
but
it from your
okay.
presence that our visitors from the desert won't be joining us either. Pity.
The
Как
plan
жаль.
worked,
План
Sid.
сработал, Стив.
Granted, it only took an army of
Правда,
bloodthirsty
благодаря
bandits at our
атаке
gate.
толпы кровожадных разбойников.
Come now, Victor. Why
Брось
quibble
ты,
over the
Виктор,
details?
зачем спорить по
We are
мелочам?
united, and that is all that matters.
Мы объединены,
As for
все
you,
это
Sid,
кланы.
you fight considerably better than you act.
I'll take that as a
Что за
compliment.
комплимент? Задание выполнено. И решите проблему. Пора найти Изабель.
Heard a bloke saying he saw ghosts on the far side of the wall.
I saw it with my own eyes.
The whole of Oriflamme under a flood. Then we're next.
Так, запись. Ну, запись хорошо.
I can't do it.
Я больше не могу.
But you can.
My lord.
Мило,
Milady.
миледи.
We received the dame's message.
Мы
There
получили
have been sightings of
письмо
strange
мадам.
creatures, I understand.
Странных
With the blue
существ.
Yes.
Да.
Like a Kashik,
Вроде
but
вроде как, но
different. They've taken so many.
других.
I've lost count.
Akashic, but
Акаш,
different.
но других.
Ultimus thralls.
Рабы Ультима.
And what of your mistress? Is she here?
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing about all this.
Then we'll look for her there.
We could leave. The two soldiers were carrying another. He didn't have any legs.
Madame, please!
Мадам, хватит.
Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the Dominion in days! What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection. And protect them I shall. Because they are my charges, and that is my duty. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charges.
But more than that, they are your people. Your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered, or take it up and do what is right.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives. Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk about this over a drink, eh?
И все обсудим.
I'm listening.
Давай.
I'll have a word with him.
Я поговорю с ним.
Ah, Clive. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly. And sought to take matters into my own hands.
It was a noble effort.
Награды.
But I thought you might still need
На
some
поддержку
support.
вам
I'd like you
пригодится.
to consider my needs.
What we need to consider is where the creatures came from.
Откуда взялись
The way the
эти твари?
survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to
Ничего не
believe
знаю,
these
что мне
days.
верить.
We'll talk to the
Мы
survivors.
поговорим с ними.
That thing, it...
Did you see the
Ты
creatures
видел
that attacked you?
Creatures?
Существ?
Yeah.
Да, я.
They came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then me, and then they were just
Взялись
Do you
ниоткуда,
remember where you were?
напали на него, на меня
on the
что
road
случилось.
from Oriflamme. We just
Мы
passed
прошли
Morwen.
вдруг, и тут... Где мы? Да, Джозеф.
Where's my Joseph?
It's all right.
Все хорошо.
Just rest now.
Отдыхаю.
It's all right. Give me your arm.
My family.
You're a pikeman, yes?
Ты же копейщик.
What happened?
Что случилось?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading,
Moor.
so I went to see if they were all right. And a pack of them glowing things found me in the meadow.
Напал на
I
лугу,
ran for my life
но не добежал.
and never did get to the village.
Leave that to us.
Мы все узнаем.
At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more. You're safe.
Поехали сразу в Морбис.
Clive, look.
I see them. With me. This one.
Should I try?
Save your strength.
Не, мне скилл не нравится, что там. Будем менять. Думаю, еще есть. Да есть еще. Но здесь мы сделали все, что могли. Тогда вернемся к Изабелле. Перебили все, что могли. Город благодарит вас. Пока нет. Придут еще и больше. Вам стоит подготовиться, несомненно. Вы поняли? Да. Гарнизон будет
Valypia has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts, for now at least.
Hearing that the Dame would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. But whatever it takes, eh? Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love. And the people I love include the ones standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind,
I've
entries to post.
Milady.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one, and that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again, Clive.
Our friends seem to have things under control. For now, at least. Let's go and put Otto's mind at rest.
Телепорт делаем, потом меняем скилл там. Но мне что-то не дошло. Слишком долгий каст скилла. Наконец-то вы вернулись. Наши друзья прислали пол благодарности. Просто бесит. Как дела в других сразу мои все еще нужны кристаллы в странах во времени хаос. Так что ясно.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Talia says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto.
Что брат очень когда
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Мне бы было страшно просто.
Had I but reached out to him sooner. warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of
Что
Ultima?
тебе известно об Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid.
Хотя бы и не сразу узнать
Despite
не
my best
удалось.
efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay
18
buried
лет
beneath
мне
the rubble of
осталось
Phoenix
лишь
Gate,
ждать смерти.
it was not death who came for me,
Но за мной пришла не она.
and it was while in my rescuer's
Меня
care
взялись лечить.
I first heard of
И
Ultima.
даже
I've been chasing
рассказали
his
об
shadow
Ultиме.
ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep,
Этот
dark
тверд
purpose, and
нечто
for whatever
страшное,
reason,
а
it would seem
ему
you are crucial
очень
to his
нужен ты.
designs. He will stop at nothing to have
В
you.
погоне за тобой он пойдет на все, даже разрушит империю. Ну зачем?
What possible use could I be to such a
Зачем
creature?
такому внутренне?
That is one of
Мне
many
не
answers
цветало.
that have eluded me.
Ну вот, другие вопросы есть.
I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within
Все
them the might
именно несут в себе мощь,
nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice.
а я только 8
Eight
хранителей
wardens for 8 elements.
на 8 стихий.
But you,
Но ты Клая,
You are different.
ты другой,
You're special.
особенный.
Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit, but they do not end there.
Но не только.
The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
Да, истина безграничный потенциал.
I've encountered that thing several times
Мы
now.
встречались несколько раз,
He, as you say, needs
потому
me.
что Леон
Why hasn't he claimed me as
просто
he did the
починит
boy?
меня, как того мальчишку.
Were I to hazard a guess,
Я могу
I'd
лишь
say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind.
Mind, awareness,
Разум,
spirit, call it what
сознание,
you
дух
wish.
не важно.
But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the
Ультима
concept.
воплощение какой идеи, поэтому мне тяжело удерживать ее внутри себя.
I'm sorry. Inside
Да,
you.
внутри себя.
With every setting sun,
Каждым
I feel
закатом
my
ночью
strength
так
wane.
уходит сила.
And though the Phoenix's flames mend the
Пламя
prison I have
Феникса
made for Ultima,
клетку для Ультимы,
they
это
do
дорого
so at a cost.
стоит.
We must find the means to bring an end to him
Мы должны
before I meet my own.
поступить
What were
как
you
обещал.
thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And
Ну
I've
что, он
always had a
заберет
soft spot for
Клайва.
my brother.
А я любил всегда
You should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua.
Джошуа.
Clive, it's Gav.
Клайв, где?
There's an army of Akashic at the gates of
Quando-
Calver.
Целое войско Акаш.
Well, what's the short
Давай
of it?
вкратце, в чем дело?
I told you.
Сказал.
The capital of the free cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities.
Армия
City Guard are
чудовищ.
doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to
Они
escape?
покинули город? Нет.
But they're all right for now.
Прячутся
They're hiding with Gav
вместе
at
с
midship.
Героем кораблем.
We have to get them out of there.
Нужно помочь им.
And we shall.
Помочь.
Otto, prepare a stolus.
Отто, сразу.
Tell Gav to stay exactly where he
Пусть
is.
Гев сидит на месте. Понял.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to
Вивиан,
the free cities?
как нам срезать?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
Ясно. Пошли.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed
Joshua.
is where you should be
Тебе
bound.
надо идти в постель.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me,
Если
he'll be fine.
держит предание проходит. Спасибо, брат.
I'll look after him.
Я присмотрю за ним. Ключ скрытности.
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Canva was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
We can use the ruins to cross the ravine.
Assuming they will allow it, the Echoes have a will of their own.
All right.
Пацаны, ну вы мне не интересны, что это знаю.
Tell us about Yote, Joshua.
She's strong-willed, loyal, and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive, but with better manners.
До свидания, мне это не интересно.
Another ether flood. They're everywhere now.
We can't go around it.
Then we'll just have to be careful.
Мы бежим. Да, идите вы.
We're nearly there.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within.
My Lord Marquis,
Lord
it is an honor.
I am Yote,
Яйва.
Knight of the Undying, charged with the protection of His Grace Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix.
Of course.
Конечно.
It all makes sense now.
Теперь все ясно.
Would you care to elaborate?
Может, пояснишь?
The Undying are loyal
Вечные,
servants to the Ducal throne.
верные.
Or more specifically, to its heir. They have served our family for
Они
generations,
не в короткости.
albeit in the shadows.
Они не тайно защищают
Since
тебя.
their inception, they have been tasked with the preservation and enactment of the rites of ancestral communion. After the events at Phoenix Gate, it was the Undying who delivered me to safety.
Именно они.
And since the day I left Rosaria, Yote has been my constant companion and protector. Without her sword, I would not have survived my journey across the realm.
Rise, Lady Yote.
Анти. Иди сюда.
You saved my brother. I owe you a debt I can never repay.
I but did my duty.
Такой мой.
Come now. Tell us what you've discovered.
Так, расскажи, что узнал.
Your Grace. It is as you feared.
Вы были
The
правы.
vessel we spied off the coast of the Crystalline Dominion on the night of her fall. It was the Einherjar. Beyond any doubt.
The Black Galleon.
Черный галеон.
Joshua.
Joshua?
The Einherjar is the Royalists' flagship. What business would they have in the Dominion?
Upon learning of Waloed's involvement in recent events at Drake's Fang, I sensed the malign influence of Ultima, and bid Yote and the Undying look into the matter.
We have reason to believe that the Black Galleon weighed anchor shortly after the fighting began, and set a course due south.
For Canva. Then it is Waloed Knights who besiege the cities.
What is left of them? Yes. And the Black Galleon sails at but one man's behest. Barnabas Tharm.
Тем временем. Агора.
But are we truly safe here?
Безопасность ли мы на
The city guard
Агоре?
have been paid, if that's what you're implying.
All the more reason for them to run.
Well, you are free to leave, Lord Minister.
Markets abandoned, warehouses aflame, blackened hulls choking every port in the capital. Canva is ruined.
Конец.
The realm teeters on the brink of chaos, and all you can think about is commerce.
Forgive us. We were not aware Dhalmekia now subsisted on charity.
How dare you?
Как и все.
Distinguished members of the council,
Уважаемые члены совета,
you must forgive His
Ее
Majesty
Величество вовсе не
this
хотел
intrusion.
прерывать
What
вас.
did you... What
Ну
is
что
the
вы?
meaning of this?
Что это все значит?
A trifle crowded,
Тут те
but I
снова
fear it will have to serve, my liege.
придется смириться с этим, господин.
Very well.
Хорошо.
My colleagues,
Друзья,
do
вы
you
же
not see?
понимаете,
The king
король
he has
пришел
come to
со
save
всеми
us
нас.
from the
Вот это.
Akashic. He is a gift from the
Это дар
heavens,
небес,
divine
воля богов,
intervention, our very salvation.
наше
And of course, if it is
избавление.
compensation he requires, we would be most willing to negotiate a fair price for services rendered.
Fools.
Глупцы,
ignorance
невежество
unbecomes
вас не красит.
Your Majesty,
Ваше
correct me if
Величество,
I'm
я
wrong,
могу ошибаться, раз, но
swear
это
that the fiends
это
washing the cobbles of Canva with the blood of her
кровью
citizens
его.
wear the
Преклонение.
colors of Waloed. Ha! So you do not
Так вы не
deny it.
отрицаете?
Guards,
Стражи,
better them,
скандалы.
and see our guests to
Нашим
the
гостям
dungeons.
несколько минут.
Enough.
довольно. Жалкие создания.
That you should imagine yourselves worthy of salvation. The girl is still here, somewhere in the city. Her consciousness fair dripping with her late father's hubris. A consciousness to which Mythos is inextricably bound and inexorably drawn. See that he is made welcome.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come, Mythos.
Я жду тебя, Миф.
Surely the prince's
Вряд ли
light
ты
cannot have
смог
sated you.
отлично светом бриться.
So then, how long has Waloed been under Ultima's control?
How long indeed? Based on what we know of Barnabas's actions, I would guess some few years, mayhap more.
But to what end? What does Ultima want?
The tapestry. Show them.
Покажи им. Вот.
By the flames.
Ну, небеса.
Phoenix Gate, Drake's breath, and now here. But what is it?
Что это такое?
It is old, ancient.
Вещь старая. Вернее,
What remains of
древняя.
the faith it represents, save what can be gleaned from the image itself. None could tell me what the one in the apothecary meant, even the Undying. But I believe it may be the key to discerning Ultima's purpose.
Них вперед.
That figure in the center, the one beneath whom the icons congregate, that I believe to be Ultima. He is a god, or at least
Ultima Bog.
godlike.
Высшее
His very
существо.
existence beyond our ken. The icons, and by extension their dominance, are meant to be his subjects, and while some, like Barnabas, have accepted this role, others have rejected it. Like you,
Другие
Clive,
отвергают.
which is
Как
rather
и ты,
inconvenient,
Клайв.
as it appears he needs you most of all. And gods don't like to be
А боги
disobeyed.
не любят
No,
дерзких.
I don't suppose they
Да,
do.
сильно не любят.
Clive, may I tell
Я
you a
расскажу
tale of the
тебе
lake?
об убежище. Конечно.
By all means.
Естественно.
Yote, I will be accompanying
Я
my
иду в
brother
свободные города
to the free
вместе с
cities.
братом.
Whilst we are afield,
Пока нас
I
не
would have you
будут,
watch over those Clive has made
присмотри
his
за
wards.
подчинением Клайва.
Umielos delan
Моя воля
tuisak
твоя
iu.
ноша. Носа
Though well
свет не несет.
concealed, the hideaway lacks trained fighters to defend its occupants should they be discovered.
But it is my duty
Но
to...
ведь
As
мой
it has
долг.
ever been my brother's duty, remember.
Не забыла.
If that is
Как
your wish,
пожелаете, ваше
your
свет.
grace. But please be safe.
Прошу, берегите
If
себя.
aught were to befall you,
Если со мной что-то случится, я
You have my word.
даю тебе слово.
farewell, my lord,
Прощайте,
my
милая
lady.
и миледи.
We are in your debt,
Yote.
Yote.
Мы у тебя в долгу.
Let's find our friends.
Идем к нашим друзьям.
It's plain she cares for you very
Наверное,
deeply.
бес беспокоит
And I
тебя.
her, which is why I had to let her go.
Взаимно, потому я ее тут. А на этом мы заканчиваем с этой серией. Всем спасибо, кто смотрел. Подписывайтесь, ставьте лайки, если серий. Всем пока-пока.